Welcome to the second advanced tutorial for TSpower. In this tutorial, we're going to learn about how to set complex conditions for variables. In particular, we're going to look at the wages and income of male rice farmers between the age of 20 to 30 versus those between the age of 30 and 40. We're going to look at this from the Socio-Economic Survey of Thailand, which covers the whole country. So I type in a search term, wages, after I choose the dataset, and you see that the variable comes up in different spots. That's because the metadata is sometimes inconsistent, so it's not grouping variables together all the time, but that doesn't hurt us. So we can just pick any year. Let's choose the year 2000. First, let's choose the whisker box. If I just choose the year 2000, I can immediately make a whisker box plot. So now a plot which shows me wages and income for Thailand. This is on the same screen as the selection, so I go back top like with that little button there. And but now I'm interested only in subsets of the variable. First, let's do the male subset. Let's just get male wages and salaries for 2000. I clicked on the word summary. This gives me the basic statistics for wage and salary, but it also allows me to choose between a range of identifiers. If I click on sex and group, now it's going to group the wage and salaries by male and female. So I know that male immediately has higher income than female people. I can click on the word male, and if I check this box, now when I click on whisker box plot, instead of just graphing wages and salaries, it's wages and salaries for all males. Go back to the top section. Now I can do more conditions. Now let's choose primary occupation, since we're only interested in male farmers between specific sets of ages. You see that after I clicked on the group button, after choosing occupation, there's a lot of choices that came up. There are in fact quite a lot of occupation. Well, not that many, but we're interested in farming, so I'm going to actually click on the word sort, and you see that agriculture and forestry is the most popular occupation. I just click there, and if I click on this checkbox, now when I graph, instead of just male, it's also agriculture and forestry. So I have two conditions. So now I'm looking at the income for male who are in agriculture. Now I want to add a further condition of age. Click on age, click on group. I'm interested to set the first variable's conditions as between 20 to 30. So I'm going to start from the age 20, 21, 22. So now say if you made a mistake, you don't want what you just chose, you can just click on that little thing. But we do want 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 7, 8, 9. And if I click on that, now I have three conditions, and you can see that from here. So this is for male who are in agriculture between age and 20 and 30. So our goal was to compare male agricultural workers between this set of ages and between 30 and 40. We can't do this with only one selection. We have to make a new selection. I'm going to pick the same variable because although it's the same variable, since I'm going to condition the variable differently, so it's actually a new variable. Now I'm going to choose again male. The only difference here is going to be the age group's different. So agriculture, and lastly age. So instead of from 20 to 30, I'm going to go from 30 to 40. So 31, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to check them all. Let's make sure. Here are also all checked. Okay, I have two selections. If I now go to this little button here, whisker box, it will now make a graph of both of the selections I made. The more conditions you have, for some reason it's actually slower to load the graph, but things will load. Thank you for your patience. So now we have a box and whisker plot, which is showing you through this red line, which is the average line, that when you get to your 30 to your 40s, you're actually making a little bit more on average, and there's all these outliers there who are making a lot more. But by and large, most people seem to be still making as much as they were not as they were, but as those people in the 20s and in their 20s are. Perhaps this tool is not giving us the right information. Let's go back to the selection. Let's now choose histogram, same scale. So it's going to have the same x-axis and the y-axis for both of the selections. So very quickly a graph was made, but it's taking a couple extra seconds to load. So the first one, the legend here is a little bigger. That's from 20 to 30. That's the distribution. Thank you for your patience again. And for the second one, we will get everyone from 30 to 40. This makes it more apparent that there's a couple people who are making a lot more. But by and large, it seems like people are not making all that much. Although you can see that the frequency count here is higher, which means there's more people probably in the workforce in agriculture once they reach their 30. So there's, or maybe just because the 30 cohort is larger. Now we can also go back to here and choose statistics. If I do that, get just some basic numbers. In a little table, minimum, maximum observation. So you can see that the average for people in their 30s is higher. The variation is also higher. Observations, the number of observations is more for the people in their 30s. If I choose statistics per province and now click on this, it will go and look at the average I have for each province. And you can again download this data, copy that into a CSV file if you're interested. If you want to see previous tables you have made, click on that button. Want to see previous graphs you have made, click on those buttons. So we can actually also use the map tool to look at this. If we go to map, same quantile, go down. What this is what it'll do is it's going to look at two subsets of the variable income, and it's going to look at them with a map, and we could see visually whether there's differences in the geographical patterns. And one would expect there wouldn't be too much change. One would expect that the income, where people earn more income in their 20s, are also where people make more income in their 30s. And that was loaded. So you see that this right-hand side map is a little darker in some areas than the left-hand side, which is showing how people in their 30s are making a little bit more. But the overall pattern is not that different, which is as we would expect. Another map tool we can use to analyze this with is map change. So now this is automatically setting the first variable as the numerator, the second variable as the denominator. It's going to do a simple division. Based on this division, it's going to create a new variable, a ratio, and then it's going to graph that. So what this is going to let us look at is precisely in which region the wage differential between the two age groups is the highest. So that was our map, and you can see that in those, in a couple provinces, not in the central area, but in some parts of Northeast and some parts of North, I guess one could say there's a higher premium to being older for agricultural workers, but perhaps here the difference is not so great. So that's all. That's the second advanced tutorial for TSpower, where we compared male rice farmers between the age of 20 to 30 and from 30 to 40. Thank you very much.